Okay, this is Toronto, and the moon has come very low, or the moon hologram has come very low, and I rushed out here to catch it. I'm going to zoom in slowly so that you can see it's over Toronto, very low. Can't be more than a couple of thousand feet at the most, maybe even less than that. It looks yellowish and orange when you look at it with the naked eye, and it sure is. Okay, this is 80x magnification. That fits the whole thing in. Okay, those are electromagnetic pulses, and they don't want me to film it, but boy is it big. And it's right over Toronto, the whole thing. It's so close I could touch it, and you could see it with the naked eye, no problem. It's so big. I'm trying to catch anything on it or close to it that's moving. I'll have to examine this closely on the larger screen. I'm looking through the eyepiece right now, and it's pretty hard to tell details, but there's a lot of details in there I can tell, and I'll be checking them out one at a time very carefully, being that this is such a big opportunity to take a good look at it up close and personal. This thing is coming lower and lower towards the earth, and it's real close. Every day it just keeps getting closer. It is just huge. You can see the big orbs within it moving around. Those aren't clouds or anything. It's clear out. I see no clouds. A few very thin, sparse clouds here and there, but nothing to make any difference. All the movement is right within it, and those little thin, sparse clouds, they shouldn't make any difference at all. I'm going to back off to get the whole thing in. It's so bright you can hardly look at it, and yet it's yellow in appearance. The camera will probably produce a different color because it's sensitive to so much light, but I can normalize that. I have a program that'll get natural color back and the way it really looks. Right now it's taking in all the light, so it may be too bright for the camera right now, but I can correct that. You can see all the things on it, or inside of it. They're huge spheres, and there's a lot of them. There's dark ones and lighter white ones, and they are very large, and there's a zillion smaller ones all over the place, but I'm talking about the large ones alone. There's a lot of them. I'm using a CANON. It has a 20x optical zoom CANON lens. Great camera. I'm at 80x since that just about fits the moon right in, or the moon hologram right in. I can make it bigger later, so I don't need to zoom in more. And zooming in more sometimes just distorts what I can see, because it makes it too close. Sometimes it's better to take a look from a distance. And I'm going to back up a little bit. Check it out. I brought with me also my high definition camera. That should really pick up some of the smaller details. I hope it does. But right now I'm going to take pictures of this. It's very unusual to have it this close, and especially so visible and right over the sea. It's rare. I'm going to back it up for later to see if there's anything else around. I'm talking about ships or anything like that that may be in the vicinity. I'm going to back all the way out. Okay, that's how far I am away from it. There's no zoom on now. And all that below is Toronto. And it's probably, you know, best seen from the lake. Or the lake shore, because there's nothing in the way, no lights in the way. Unfortunately, I'm a few miles from that location, and I can't you know, get rid of the lights from the city right now, so I'll have to just deal with it the way I can and try and capture this. It's amazing just how close it is. There appears to be another object close to it, a large one, but I don't know. It's hard to say. It could be a reflection. I'll see that later. Anyway, even if there is no other object, this one's big enough. I'm hand holding the camera. I'm doing my best not to shake it, but it's difficult at this level of zoom power to keep it steady, because every little shake, just as I talk, I shake the camera because my lips are moving. I'm going to shut up for a minute and just try and concentrate on the image. There's nothing wrong with the focus, and the reason why there's distortion is one, there's a repetitive emission of electromagnetic pulses from the moon hologram itself. Those things are shooting them right at me, trying to blur the camera image and distort what it picks up. The other reason is there's so many of them in the air, and it's hard to get through them all. and get a clear picture. It's like looking through a glass of dirty water. It just it's like a screen, makes everything blurry. But this is a very good lens and a great camera, and it has a lot of battery capacity, so you won't be able to drain the batteries as they do with the other cameras that I use. I bought this camera just for that reason, because it has lots of batteries and they are not able to drain them in a minute or two like they do with the rest of the cameras that I have. This one can last a half an hour, or as long as the card I have. I only have a 4 GB card in there, so it won't even last a half an hour. It'll be full. They are really trying to blur the image. There's a repetitive stream of electromagnetic pulses coming in. They usually do one big one once in a while and just distort the entire focus. But tonight they're using a different tactic. They're emitting smaller amounts and in a much faster repetition, so that it's constantly blurring the camera. I don't know how clear the shots will come out, but I have means of correcting that. Okay, I'm going to turn this one off and use my high definition camera. Let's see how it does. Okay, I'm back with the Canon. I just used my Sony and before the Panasonic. Now I got the Canon. And this is no zoom. That's Toronto on the bottom. I'm zooming in little by little now in spurts. Okay, I'm getting close now. This is about 18x. Okay, I'm at 30x. $50x. Okay, this is 80x. That's about all that can fit into the frame. Any more than this, and it'll just be right on top of me. So I need to see what's around top and bottom and sides. So it's moving off. At this point it's going up higher and higher. Before it was very low, looked like you could touch it. It's moved off quite a bit. It's about twice as far now as it was before, and that's amazing because it was only a short time, less than maybe a half an hour altogether that I've been out here with these 3 cameras. So in a half an hour it's moved off twice as far, and our moon never used to do that. So this is not our moon. It can move around and it can choose where it goes and how high it is off the ground, and it's not subject to any gravity or any kind of other laws of physics that we know. It just does whatever it wants. And you can see there's a lot of details on it. Even though it looks like it's hazy, that's just a number of entities between me and it. They're just zooming by. They're streaming by at very high speeds. Too high to catch with either the camera or the eye. But there's so many of them, they create a constant blur. Even though you can still see details on in the hologram itself. And that is not our moon. It's emitting electromagnetic pulses, also trying to kill the camera. They usually drain batteries, but this camera has a whole bunch of batteries that make it operate, so they can't kill this one. They kill the other ones that I have, but not this one. Anyway, I'm well prepared. I have lots of batteries. This is handheld. I don't have my stand with me, and it wouldn't do me much good anyway, since this thing is moving all over. All the cameras tonight were handheld, but I tried to hold them steady so that you can get a good look at the moon hologram yourselves. There seem to be a lot of things up at the top. I'll have to look at that later. There seems to be a lot more things on the top than just a few days ago. And there's some down here at the bottom. They've lined up. The other day they were spread out here and there, but now they're all lined up horizontally. All those spheres next to each other. Those are large clusters within a large cluster. And on top are a whole bunch of larger clusters all together. And the darker objects are large clusters that are different than the white or lighter colored ones. And I don't really know their purpose, but they are the key to that hologram, those black ones. That's they hold the key to it. They all have a role to play. All of them are important. And I really need to figure out what they are, who they are, what they want, and why did they come here. Because it's going to be very important to know those things in the future, very near future. I'm going to take some still photos with this camera. I haven't done that yet, so I'm going to turn off the video.